Now, for more on this, let's bring in NewsNation political editor Chris Stirewalt. We're talking Saudi Arabia here. Chris, thank you for joining us. Now, when it comes to Jamal Khashoggi and Biden meeting with Mohammed bin Salman, the crown prince there, does it make very much sense? I know that there's a reason that people in the United States want him to bring up Khashoggi, but this happened 4 years ago, and Biden has other objectives. So does it make sense for him to bring this up and try to criticize this world leader whose home he is visiting when he's trying to get something from him?
So we expect the American president to carry American values with him as he travels the world, no matter who that American president is, right? And we want to be a leader in the world on human rights, and we want to be a leader in the world when it comes to journalistic freedom. That having been said, there's not a heck of a lot that Joe Biden is going to be able to do to change the way that this despotic regime in Riyadh operates. These are not good actors. We know it. Part of grown-up life in the world is that we have to deal with countries like Saudi Arabia. We have to deal with countries like China. We have to deal with countries that are human rights abusers and don't follow the American standard for practices of human rights in dealing with other people. So if you're Biden, you have a domestic political consideration with this, which is you have to say something so that back home we feel like you're carrying the message of the United States around the world. But then he has to get past it, and he's got to go for the most important question for the United States and the rest of the West, which is, can we bring energy prices down?
Now, Saudi Arabia is one of the world's largest oil producers, and yet it doubled the amount of Russian fuel that it imported recently. Are they just trying to get our attention?
You know, I don't know what was behind that, and global petroleum markets are weird. The United States, for example, is a net exporter of oil, but we're still purchasing oil, a lot of it from Canada and Mexico. So how trade works on that stuff and where it comes and where it goes, I don't know. The United States under the Trump administration worked to undo a lot of the effort that the Obama-Biden administration had done to rebalance the Middle East toward Iran. And now Biden finds himself in a position where he needs that relationship. You know, your reporter mentioned how this was the first time an American president could fly from Tel Aviv or from Israel into Riyadh. That is because of the Abraham Accords that took place during the Trump administration. And this relationship is in the condition it is, where Biden can even ask for this favor because of what his predecessor did. So it's a tricky spot for the president to be in.
Now, we are speaking with Chris Stirewalt. He is a political contributor here at NewsNation. And Chris, when it comes to oil prices, we've already seen this president try to talk to oil company CEOs and say, you guys should make less money. And he's kind of doing something similar here in Saudi Arabia. They make a lot of money when there's a high demand for oil and they can charge a high price, but he wants them to produce more, charge less, ostensibly to make less money. Can he accomplish that?
Well, look, it's a different game. With the oil companies, that's a bunch of flummery, right? That's a politician saying stuff. You guys should eat it on this stuff. By the way, nobody said to the oil companies when they were getting crushed, absolutely destroyed in 2020 and into 2021, that the government was going to offset their costs. So that's just some stuff politicians say. Whatever. For the OPEC countries, for the Gulf states, the question here is not, do you want to make more money now or less money now? The question is, what do you want to do about Vladimir Putin? What do you want to do about Russia? Because as long as energy prices stay sky high, that's good for Putin. That's keeping him propped up. Whereas if the OPEC nations and the Gulf states release more oil and they start selling more oil, yes, in the short term, it brings prices down, but it may, in the long run, benefit them strategically in dealing with Russia, one of the world's major energy producers, and may help them in the long term. So Biden has to make a case that's not about short-term income. Because, by the way, the Saudis make a lot of money, whatever the price of oil is.
So it's kind of about squeezing Russia out of the market then, or at least doing that in the future. Yep. All right, that is Chris Stirewalt. Chris, thank you very much for joining us.
You bet.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.